Hey, this is Dr. Amie Harwick, and today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about pets and mental health. This is Sparky. We're going to be featuring Sparky, Gretchen, and the cat Marquis on this video. But today we're going to talk about something that's important. Of course, we know that petting animals or petting your pets makes you feel happy, but why? And what are the studies that show this? And what are the reasons that there are support animals, emotional support animals, and animals that are service animals? So I'm sure you've read in the news the ridiculousness of how some of the ESA or emotional support animals have gone. I think it was just this last January that somebody brought a peacock to LAX when they were about to go on a flight and said, well, this is my emotional support animal. Well, I mean, to their credit, if they had a therapist write a letter and say that this person has anxiety, a pet makes anxiety better, and that pet is a peacock, they might think that this is appropriate. However, there's a reason that airlines have rules, because not everybody can bring their peacock or their pig or their guinea pig on the flight. So a service animal, there's a difference. A service animal is an animal that's specially trained for people with disabilities. Typically it's a dog. So Sparky here is not a service animal. He's not been trained. He can barely sit, but that's okay. I still love you. And an emotional support animal is an animal that maybe it's your pet, but you have a letter from your therapist or some type of, maybe a psychiatrist, that says that you have some type of mental health issue, and because of that, having a pet will make you cope with life a little bit better. So sometimes that helps you bring your pet on the airplane, or get through some type of regulation with an apartment. You can bring your pets to outdoor restaurants sometimes. There's different laws for every county, city, state, so you want to make sure you know what your laws are, and they're ever changing. But there is actual scientific evidence to what pets can do to mental health. And it's really helpful for everything from depression to anxiety. We're going to look at that right now. So this is Dr. Amie Harwick and Sparky, and we are going to talk about why having your dog or your cat or your guinea pig or your fish actually does make you happier, live longer, and healthier. So Alan McConnell of Ohio University did a study. So this isn't just me saying pets make you feel better because I happen to have pets that I love. In this study from Ohio University, he looked at the benefits of pet owners versus non-pet owners, and what are the differences that he saw there. So some of the differences that he saw are that they are having greater self-esteem, so they feel better about themselves, they're more physically fit, they're less lonely, more conscientious about life, about people, about what they're doing, so they're more self-aware, they are more extroverted, and they tend to be less fearful in general. So all of these qualities were more present in people that had pets than people who didn't have pets. So that's from this one study, but there's so many studies that give all these other benefits to having pets, owning pets, hugging pets, touching pets, and some of those include being happier, being better adjusted, having increased feelings of positivity and happiness, feeling better about being rejected. Look, we all go through breakups. We have people come and go out of our lives quite a bit, and coping with that can be difficult. So people who have pets have actually a much better time dealing with that rejection. That's a normal part of life. People on Medicare, older adults, actually have less doctor visits when they have a pet, so less continuing issues that might come up because they have this pet there to support them in their life. Men with HIV or men that are HIV positive actually report better functioning when they have a pet. Reciprocal love for people who have had loss, grief, widows report higher level of satisfaction with life when they have a pet. People in relationships report better relationship satisfaction because they're walking the dog, they're feeding the dog or the cat, because they're doing something together with this animal that needs their love, wants their love, needs their attention, and it gives purpose and meaning. So one thing that actually keeps us away from depression, or one of the more resilient factors, the strengths, are not being isolated and having a purpose and a meaning. So if you have a dog, you have purpose and meaning by feeding it, taking care of it, it's dependent on you. Also, you're not isolated because you have a buddy. So all of these reasons are just the compilation of more evidence that having a pet or being around an animal can actually make you happier and healthier. In fact, the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology actually said that people tend to be closer with other people in their life when they have a pet. So they are closer to other people when there's a pet around. So we all know that pets make us feel better, but what does it do to our body? There was actually a study by Aaron Beck at Purdue University, and in that study he looked at the physiological changes that happen within 5 to 24 seconds from when you pet, in this case a dog, but when you pet an animal. So it just has to be a familiar dog. It doesn't have to be your dog. I can have a friend pet my dog and they might still have this response. So pretty quickly, heart rate goes down, stress hormones go down, breathing is more regulated, so calmer breathing. Cardiovascular problems, over the long term, cardiovascular problems and cholesterol end up going down. So your body actually responds to petting and being around a familiar animal that you know that is friendly. So that's a pretty amazing response. Sparky, what do you think? He agrees. So another thing that was interesting to note is that when they looked at studies with as-needed anxiety medications such as Xanax takes 10 to 20 minutes to kick in. Within 5 to 20 minutes of petting a familiar friendly animal, all those physical responses happen. So it may not be chemically induced and it may not be as strong, but you will find relief actually quicker from playing with and petting an animal than you would from taking a Xanax. So if it's that simple and it's that easy, all right, see you later. Why not? Why not do that? Why not give that a try? So we're not just talking about dogs and cats. I'm particularly partial to cats. However, animals in general can have a lot of benefits. So dogs, most of the studies are actually done on dogs. Most service animals are dogs. However, it's just not those two things. It's not black and white. It's not these binary identities of animals. So there are other studies that show benefits of, for example, horses with PTSD. Equine therapy is pretty popular, so you can look that up, explore that. Fish. So yeah, you can't pet a fish, you can't cuddle a fish. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't really be good for the fish. But there are studies that are done with dementia and Alzheimer's to help older populations to focus attention. So even having a fish can be a positive change in somebody's life. Even crickets, why crickets? Well, crickets you're caring for something. So studies show that if you care for something and you have accountability to something other than yourself, it will just make you feel better. So whether it's a tarantula, a cricket, even guinea pigs or hamsters are great for small kids to teach responsibility and accountability. There are so many benefits of different types of animals. So thanks for watching. This is Dr. Amie Harwick. I hope you enjoyed today's video on pets and mental health and all the benefits you can get. Obviously, this was part educational. There's so much information about pets and mental health that I think is really important for people to get and listen to. But also, thanks for helping to indulge me to show off my pets that I love so much to the world. They've really made a big difference in my life, and I definitely want to share that with a lot of other people. So feel free to comment below or give me any questions you have here on this YouTube channel. Also, feel free to go to my website or check out any of my social media accounts, which are listed right here. And until next time, this is Dr. Amie Harwick. Have a great day.